Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar,
A study released in 2012 states that the number of terrorist attacks worldwide have more than quadrupled in the last decade. The most prominent of these ended in a great loss of innocent lives. Almost 3,000 fatalities in the September the 11th attacks, 202 in the Bali bombings, and 192 in the Madrid train bombings, as well as the more recent Boston Marathon bombings, which killed 3 and injured dozens. These attacks have had a significant effect on the public perception of terrorism, which have become automatically associated with Islam, especially through the works of Western media.
أشهد أن
I have experienced Islamophobia in England as well. I was there just for 2 months, and what I've seen there is absolutely horrendous compared to what I've been exposed to my entire life here in South Africa.
As a Muslim living in Europe today, living in the West today, it has become very difficult. There's a lot of restriction as far as travel is concerned. There's a lot of stereotyping. We've seen with the recent Boston bombings how profiling takes place. And there almost seems an obsession to try and create a link to Islam and to put Islam under the spotlight.
Muslims first arrived in South Africa as early as the 17th century. They make up less than 5% of the South African population. Yet, they control up to 30% of the country's fast-moving consumer goods and are among the 10 biggest exporters of halal products in the world. Muslims have been embraced by the majority of the country and by the ANC government for the vital role they played in the fight against apartheid. Headscarves, fasting and prayers are widely respected in South African schools and working environments.
This has made South Africa a very comfortable place for people to live. It's also a great country because these freedoms which are enshrined in our institution, freedom of association, freedom of religion, has allowed us to develop religious infrastructure.
The government officials, they are very respectful also, and the constitution also protects you and your faith.
It flows from two things. Number one, when you educate yourself and try and understand better where Muslims are coming from. And two, also when Muslims conduct themselves in the appropriate way, show the correct behavior and approach things with the right approach, it's very, very easy to coexist harmoniously.
I believe that South Africa is quite a good place to stay because there's a lot of freedom when it comes to religion, especially educational religion as well. So I'm quite happy about the status of Islam and being a Muslim in South Africa.
Allahu Akbar,
South African Muslims not only formed a part of the struggle towards democracy, but they also feel very well represented in and respected by the South African society as a whole. Behind us here is the Nizamiya Mosque, presumably the biggest mosque in the Southern Hemisphere, and also a metaphor of the health and prosperity of Islam in South Africa. Salome van Zyl, reporting from Midrand, South Africa.